that's an attest to how he was raised. You feel me? Like, not to say that most niggas ain't raised with like around real love, but it don't be that for real. Like, you feel me? It's so much like we was talking about earlier, like street shit, shootouts and rivalries, and like I'm looking at it as y'all might look at it as like that's what make you a street nigga, but I look at it like, and I'm in it. You feel me? That's just survival for a lot of niggas. Like, it's just how I'm surviving. This is how I clothe myself, how I feed myself. Like, it's just survival. You feel me? So you can tell Jack was one of them people who he grew up living, not surviving. You know what I'm saying? He grew up enjoying himself, like with real love, his parents, you know what I'm saying? Not to say my mom and my dad ain't love me or nothing like, you know what I'm saying? But he grew up around established people who was showing him real love.
All right, Shalom. This is Brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. This is John chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. All right, and I want to go into a lesson based on this clip from this up-and-coming rapper named ESTG. All right, and the highlight of this clip is he said something that we speak on through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemal Shai on the highways and hedges and in our lessons of life more abundantly. And what is that? That is to live life and not survive, to actually live. Our people have mistaken survival for life. Being able to barely pay your bills is not living, it's survival. And our people have been naively led to believe that that is life. And it's not life. All right. And through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemal Shai, the importance and the significance of the one they ignorantly call Jesus is to give his people life more abundantly so that they don't have to survive as a nation. We can actually live. We don't know how it feels to live. You know, an apostle, Gabar, says that all the time, man. We don't know what that actually feels like. Even our people who get a little more than the average, the pressure that they have on them to maintain it and to pull other people up to the same level is the same as survival. It's just a different level of survival. And what the Lord is giving us is an opportunity to actually live. All right. Now I want to go to Haggai chapter 1. All right. This is Haggai chapter 1 and verse 3. Then came the word of Yahweh by Shemal Shai by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore thus saith Yahweh by Shemal Shai, the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. And that's why people are so obsessed with looking rich. Because as a nation of people, we are not rich. And when I say rich, I'm talking about the material resources and wealth of this world. We're rich in spirit. We're rich according to the promise that the Lord has given us. But only 1/3 of our people actually have faith and trust in that promise. And most of our people have given up building up the Lord's house and standing for the Lord to build up their own house, to survive here in Babylon the Great, to survive a little bit better than the rest. Because when you look at these entertainers, all right, they're just surviving a little bit better than the average. Even they don't know what life really feels like, what it feels like to actually live. All right. When you don't have to ask another nation permission to go where you please, if you have the resources and the ability to do so, that is freedom. That is sovereignty. Everything else is survival and liberty. Liberty is permission. That means it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have to ask another nation of people permission to do anything, you're not living, you're surviving. And what ESTG said through the Spirit was what we bring out through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah on the highways and hedges. All right. And that's that the Lord is going to give us life, man. Life more abundantly. All right. You're not born in, and I'll say this too. All right. If you're not born into an inheritance, you're not living, you're surviving, because now you have the pressure of establishing your house. When truth be told, as a family, you're supposed to be born into a situation where you have a family that has a trade, where they give you a pipeline into getting a trade or getting something established, or they leave something to you, a business, resources. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter if you make $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year. You are surviving. And this is why the Lord said this as well. Let me go to this. All right. Now, the Lord, the Spirit spoke through Paul to bring this out. And it's true. All right. Ephesians 2:12, that at that time you were, let's go up to 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh Shema Shai in the world. All right. And the point being is that commonwealth of Israel. All right. Now let's do this. Let's go to Ephesians, the 12th chapter. The second chapter, the 12th verse. And I want to get that Greek word for commonwealth. All right. Now that Greek word for commonwealth, all right, is politeia. Politeia. All right. And it says the administration of civil affairs, a state or commonwealth, citizenship, the rights of a citizen. All right. Now, Strong's definition says citizenship, concretely, a community, commonwealth, freedom. All right. And again, there's a difference between liberty and freedom. All right. And our people have been led to believe that liberty is the same. And that's what Babylon the Great, which is America, sells you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Liberty and justice for all. Even though you know, even in your own life, in your people's history, that that's a hypocritical statement in itself. And they've taught you to accept and be satisfied with surviving while they get a chance to live. And that's why this message is so threatening to this establishment. Because the so-called white man truly has no interest in you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans actually living. Because for you to live, it means that the playing field gets evened. You have to remember the world benefits off of our ignorance. They benefit from our destruction. All the nations benefit from our destruction. Quick examples is that if our people actually woke up and started keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the weave industry would be destroyed overnight. We wouldn't go to Chinese food stores. We wouldn't eat pork. Those are the pork bellies. That's a commodity that's traded on the market. If our people gave up these things and started following the law, statutes, and commandments, it would make a lot of nations a lot poorer than they are right now. Or I should say a lot less richer than they are right now. Because just like the parable of Lazarus, they all lick the wounds. They all benefit from our destruction. And our people have been led to believe that survival is living. That's why people are cool with being in the ghettos as long as we got good music and we can play spades and listen to our music. Because they've told our people that this is living. While they actually get to live, while their children are born into a house where there's $100,000 set aside for that child the moment they graduate to decide if they want to go to school or not. They don't have the pressure of building up the house. It's already established. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on average don't have that liberty, or I should say luxury. And that shows you that we are surviving as a nation of people. We are not living. And what he said, while most people think surviving is, the guys who got to sleep on the street, and if they don't sell drugs, they're going to be homeless. That's not, it's levels to surviving. Your favorite rapper is surviving. He lives check to check. His checks are just bigger. He's fighting to establish a generational wealth, if you will, in a society that is falling before our eyes. But the point of this lesson is that all of those are levels of survival. It's not living. It doesn't matter how much money you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have. If you get pulled over at the wrong place at the wrong time, they're not going to care about your money. They're going to care more about how you look and what nation you're from. All right. And through the Spirit, that's why I wanted to bring this lesson out. I didn't want it to be too long-winded, but through the Spirit, I wanted to bring this out so that you can see this clip through the Spirit and be aware of it, because, again, this is all spiritual. All right. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's all spiritual, man. And what we understand through the Spirit is being revealed to us more and more every day from different avenues, different paths. Different spirits are being used as vessels to confirm what we already know, man. And that's the beauty of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the good news, man. The liberty that we enjoy is that we're not going to be surviving for much longer. We're going to actually get a chance to live. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is upon me, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes. Because you got to think, it's a very, how should I say this? It's a very tough reality when you actually view it from the truth, with the eye salve, for what it really is, not for the fantasy America gives our people. But when you look at it from what it really is, man, it's not good, man. How much our people have accepted their position in society is not good, man. Scriptures say, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, man. And our people have honestly been tricked into believing that this is living. That to have to tell your babies, hey, when they get a certain age, look, if the cops say this to you, all right, say this. And you got a good job and you pay taxes, but you still have to have that conversation with your child. You are surviving. You're not living, man. And our people are in competition with each other to prove I'm surviving better than you are. But neither one of you are living, man. And it gets you. I'm passionate about this through the Spirit because, man, the Lord has given us the good news, man. And it's like, you see the world in this condition through the Spirit, and we hasten the day, man. But this is not it. This is not the end all be all, man. And our people have been led to believe that this is living. They have been content with the thought or idea that your children's children's children are going to grow up with the same problems you have in this society, no matter how much money they have. Best case scenario, you the only black family in the neighborhood that get to have cookouts on Sundays. That's not living, man. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 28. This is Isaiah 28, and I'm going to jump down to verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And 2/3 of our people have made a covenant with death, because this place is death. It don't kill you quickly in most cases, but it's death. It's a slow decline. Even if you get old and gray hair, this is death. For most of our people who live long, who survive long enough to get old, A lot of them don't even have the spirit left in them to fight, or the spirit left in them to speak against the atrocities that have been done to us, past and present. Because that's what this society does. It causes you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to trim your waist so much that by the time you manage to survive long enough, you are not even the same person you started off as. And this is not living. And our people have made a covenant with this death style. And they fight and they compete with each other to have a bigger check in death, to have a better covenant in death. They all show up and hold each other's contracts to compete. I got a better contract with death than you. What's your NBA contract? I got a better contract with death. Death is giving me more than you. And our people take this survival that we're doing as a nation of people and they compete with each other with it. And this is not living at all, man. And that's why Hamashiach came, that we may have life and have it more abundantly, man. And that's why I love John 10:10. It's one of my favorite scriptures, especially in the New Testament, along with John the 16th chapter. Because the Lord is going to allow us to have life, man, to actually live free of worry, free of fear, free of the non-assurance of life, your life hanging in doubt, free of those burdens, free of death if you can receive it. But when this rapper said that, man, it really stuck to me, because we mentioned this through the Spirit down here at camp on multiple occasions, and it was the Spirit that actually allowed me to see this video to bring it out. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I won't hold the lesson up too much longer. With that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.